Hi, welcome to the fourth episode of Life at IIM series. Today, I have with me Vaibhav Chowdhury from IIM Calcutta. Before I start with the introduction of Vaibhav, let me take you through the introduction about the platform, which has given me this opportunity to do this Life at IIM series. So, this is Unacademy. This is one of the India's largest online training platform. For me, it is your one-stop solution for aptitude test preparation. I always say this in my series that when you're looking for preparation for any aptitude examination, you should be concerned about two things. One, the teacher who would be teaching you or the set of teachers. And second, how do they deliver their classes? How do they deliver the content? Now, for me, Unacademy wins on both the fronts because it has got India's finest education with them. And second, they use technology in a brilliant manner to deliver the classes to you. Brief introduction about myself. I am Abhishek Anand. I did my graduation from SRCC and my MBA from IIM Bangalore. I've been in this training industry for over a decade now, and I love interacting with students. I love engaging with students. I think that is my lifeline. Unacademy, as I said, is a brilliant place. Top educators of the country are there, and when I say technology, which is a delivery of content, you get daily live classes, you get tests and quizzes. The courses are extremely structured, and the access to the classes as well as to the educators is unlimited, which means whoever is teaching on the platform, you get access to those teachers. So yeah, I think there would be around, I don't know, n number of teachers on the platform. uh, you have test series again. If you're preparing for an exam like CAT, test series becomes extremely important. Vaibhav is with us. If we get time, we'll speak about that. So it has got an exhaustive and comprehensive test series. Schedule, I understand there will be people who are work ex, people who are in the college, currently studying in college. So different people have different schedule. On Academy, I'm sure there are so many classes, so many different timings that something will definitely match your schedule. There is no language barrier, and again, no locational constraint. For a test like CAT, I think 1 year preparation is a must. You might come across people who say that I just prepare for 3 months, 4 months, but that is an exception, not a norm. Because any area competition, guys, is are people who are writing the exam for the second time. There are many people who crack, let's say, fresh IIMs, but they don't join IIM, that particular IIM, fresh IIMs, because they want to give it one more shot. So this is your competition. You're competing against someone who's already reached 95, 96 percentile plus. So whenever you prepare, give it this preparation at least an year, right? There are different subscription. Go for a 1 year subscription. You may use my code, which is Anand11, to subscribe, and I'm sure there are other offers to that. So with that, I'll start today's session. Vaibhav, why don't you start with a video?
Yeah, sure, sir.
The voice or sound also, Vaibhav, if you could.
Yeah, just a minute.
Sure. Hi, Vaibhav. I'm sure you would have got nostalgic after looking at this video.
Yeah, that really was. I always make it a point to watch this video, every 3 or 4 months because it just gives you so much feels about our campus.
Hmm.
It's a very, it's a very close to my heart kind of a video. So glad to share it with everyone. And there was no better video to start this session with, than this video, which truly captures, the essence of our campus. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Your volume is on a slightly lower side, Vaibhav. When we
Okay.
did a check, this is better.
Yeah, you can hear me now.
Yes, this is much
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so most of the things on campus is done by the students. I saw external cell here. So was this done by the student body again?
Yeah, so external relations cell is one of the cells inside our campus. Like we have the placement cell, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware about. But then there are some other not so famous cells also. One of them is the external relations cell.
Okay.
Their job is to make such videos to inform other students about what happens inside campus, and kind of they manage the campus's Facebook page, the Twitter page, and the YouTube page. So they generate content and put it up there. So that is by the external relations cell, which includes raw students. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I saw Joka. What is this Joka? It was IIM Calcutta, and the top was taken by Joka. What is this Joka?
Yeah. Actually, IIM Calcutta as a term, the term IIM Calcutta only before you get into IIM Calcutta. It's ABC, you're preparing for CAT, you're like, okay, Calcutta jana, I have to go to IIM Calcutta, and the goal is IIM Calcutta. But basically, Calcutta is a big city, and the district in which our campus is situated is that the name of the district is Joka. So, and once you land at the airport, you can't, because people speak Bengali here, the local cabs, you can't ask them ki I am Calcutta chalo, because they just know that if a person who's looking like a student, he's at the airport, you just say ki Joka, I have to go to Joka, and he will straight away take you to campus. Because that entire district, that Joka region inside Calcutta is known because IIM Calcutta is there. And hence we fondly refer to our campus as Joka. It's IIM Joka, or for short, just Joka. We don't use the term IIM Calcutta. And for us, we call ourselves Jokers, Jokars. So if you see two IMC alums talking, they will not say ki what's up with IIM Calcutta. They'll say Joka ka kya haal hai, and how are you, Joker? So that's just how we fondly refer to ourselves.
Is this Joker thing a new thing after the movie Dark Knight got popular, or was it ever since?
No, it was much before. The first time the campus shifted. So fun fact is that IIM Calcutta was not always in this place. It was not always at Joka.
Okay.
But within the first 5 or 6 years of its inception, it shifted to Joka, and since then we've been calling ourselves Jokers.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say who stole from whom, but yeah, it's always.
All right. Okay. So see, this is the 4th episode, Vaibhav. So I've covered Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Indore, and in all these 3 campuses, other than student body or let's say professor, there's always been one popular character on campus.
Yeah.
So it could be a person who's running an eating joint, or let's say the official cigarette provider on campus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in your campus, is there someone who is so popular?
The first person that flashes in my mind is a guy called Kotler Da. And yeah.
Okay.
So we always refer to everybody inside the campus using the term Da. Like Saurav Ganguly, we call him Dada because he's a Bengali. So it's fondly in Bengali we call everybody Da, and this generally means, literally it means elder brother. Dada just means elder brother. So we used to call him Kotler Da. Kotler is basically our marketing guru. Philip Kotler, the marketing management guru. So we around 90s, I think he started his shop inside campus. And the batch was very quickly realized that, dude, this guy is a marketing genius, because he used to market it really brilliantly. And even stuff like Maggie and cigarettes at that time, he used to provide it to the students with with marketing packages and students and subscription models and all of that. So the guys fondly named him Kotler Da.
We are losing you, Vaibhav, volume wise.
Can you hear me now?
Just say a couple of sentences.
Yeah. So the guys fondly called him Kotler Da.
Better. Yeah.
So now, his son is running the store, but even we call him Kotler Da. He's put up a huge board outside his shop, which is called Kotler Da's shop. So yeah, that is one famous personality, and everybody who has been even for 6 months at Joka will know that Kotler Da is a place to hang out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. One thing which came in my session with your IIM Bangalore and Ahmedabad was both the speakers were really passionate about it. which is the sports event that you have,
Yeah.
which is called Sangharsh, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your memories of Sangharsh?
Sangharsh is a fun time on campus. It's one of the very few events which is inter IIM. So A, B, C, and L. I think these four IIMs participate in the sports competitions, and a lot of sports. So it's an inter IIM sports competition. Everybody participates in the sports that they like. But I think as a joker, or as a person from IIM Calcutta, the sports event that is much closer to my heart is the rivalry that we have with XLRI. So, located very close to us, our campus is Jamshedpur's, XLRI's Jamshedpur campus.
Okay.
So IIM Calcutta and XLRI have this rivalry, especially in terms of sports competitions, that again goes a long way back. So apart from Sangharsh, which of course, I think we've always been in the top two. We sometimes win, we sometimes end up as runner-up for the past 3-4 years. I think IMC versus Excel Sports Meet is also something that is really close to, I think, everybody's heart. So those are the two marquee sporting events that just adds a fun flavor inside campus. Yeah.
Okay. So on our campus, when let's say we used to have this competition, so obviously you have an overall outcome. Every sport had points, and the number of sports you win, you get a cumulative score, and then you win the trophy.
Yeah.
But within that set also, people were extremely emotional about cricket. So let's say if you win the cup, if you win the tournament, but you lose the cricket match, the victory is not complete.
Yeah.
So in your tournaments, was there any such sport?
I think it was football, Calcutta people, and we generally are really passionate about football. So it's a five-a-side kind of a futsal. That is, it's called futsal. Yeah. So they play futsal at Inter IIM. That is something that is much closer to our campus. But every sports person has a different choice.
Yeah.
I did not play for any team. I was too lazy to play sports, honestly, inside campus. But if you ask a person who was representing our badminton team, of course badminton was the most important for them. But one point that I would like to add here, which is again unique to IIM Calcutta, and I'm sorry if it seems like but I'm just going to speak about what
just
I like.
Keep this thing closer to your mouth. When you're keeping it closer to your mouth, the voice is clearer.
Yeah. Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah. So there's this one sport which is called footer. Which happens only at IIM Calcutta. It's only the students at IIM Calcutta play. We use a volleyball net, but slightly lower than that. And how we play it is it's a football. There is 4 to 5-a-side a team, and we use only our head and but you can't use your hands to throw the ball to the next side. So it's a game that is played only at IIM Calcutta.
Vaibhav, now you got me emotional, nostalgic, because this game used to be played in IIM Bangalore also.
Acha.
And we used to call it Sipok.
Okay.
Because this is Sipok. I think this is a national game of Thailand.
Okay.
Right. So they play Sipok using just their hands.
Yeah.
So I was so sad, as in 3 years after we graduated, I went to the campus, and for us Sipok was a life. And now the batch, they do not play. People are not aware of Sipok. So now it may be correct that only IIM Calcutta plays this. But during our time, this was our life, Sipok. Yeah.
So this was unique because I was like, Inter IIM, why don't you play? We call it footer, and I'm sure it's the same as Sipok, but maybe we've mended a few rules here and there to suit our campus life. But it's very similar. I spent hours, in fact nights, playing footer inside the hostel.
Yes.
So you come back from the class, instead of going to your room, you just play footer for 6 hours and then go for your next class. You don't even reach your room. You just go out and in. So footer is one sport that is now not played in the inter IIMs, but we have a sports competition within IIM Calcutta that is inter hostel. And in that, of course, footer is a very tightly contested sport.
Okay, great. So for IIM Ahmedabad, it is frisbee. For IIM Bangalore, it is cricket. And for IIM Calcutta, you mentioned it was football.
Futsal.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so now this IIM Ahmedabad speaker, gentleman, and I also am aware of this. He mentioned about the sledging that IIM Calcutta does. Right? He said it was on a different level altogether, right? And even we have witnessed that. So this thing is something which has continued over the years.
Yeah.
So how does it happen? How are you guys so good at sledging?
It's just one of those things. For example, the Australian cricket team led by Ricky Ponting will always be famous for the kind of aggressive attitude that they brought to the field. Whenever we lose the World Cup, when we lost it in 2003, we always say कि यार वो लोग sledging करते हैं इसीलिए. But now, when Virat Kohli is doing that, it's not called sledging, right? It's an aggressive attitude that they bring to the field. So IIM Calcutta also, we've always we have that aggressive attitude, and it's a thing, we have some small, training sessions, which is top secret stuff, which I can't talk about on this media, but we
Okay.
have a sort of a training session before Sangharsh and before the sports
Achha,
meet.
so you got training sessions to channelize your aggressive attitude.
Yeah, you can call it that, where we,
Okay.
create these slogans. We
Okay.
all of us sit together and we use our creative minds and we create slogans. We practice those slogans together so that it has the maximum impact, and then we
Okay.
bring it, apart from our, of course, raw talent for playing that game. I think crowd support is also important, and we bring that on the ground. I think
Uh,
nothing wrong with that. It's just aggressive attitude.
nothing wrong. I have witnessed that, and yeah, it
it,
is,
it
it is,
works it works,
it
right?
works. It works. You have to be really mentally strong to
Yeah.
take in that kind of sledging.
Yeah.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
been a part of that. I've witnessed that. Yeah, great. Okay, so now some common questions that I'm asking all my speakers,
Hmm.
Vaibhav, right? So when people think of, let's say, going into an IIMs, right? So what is the reason? Why do you want to get into IIMs? So other than good lifestyle, good career prospects, whatever it is, one common thing that comes across is that the person who aspiring to get into IIMs, right? One of the reason would be, I know of someone before he went to IIMs, so she went to IIMs, and after IIMs and this thing. So they see, or extreme transformation, obviously towards the positive, as in the entire personality changes for the good, right? Person becomes much more confident, much more organized, much more articulate. So what happens in a campus like IIM Calcutta that personality completely transforms?
Yeah. you know uh, it's very difficult to put it in words. At the outset, I would like to put this qualifier, that, all of us know that some sort of transformation happens, and that is why you want to go into an IM, so that your personality undergoes that change. But it's very difficult to explain, really crisply, but I'll make an effort.
Yeah.
How I would like to put it is, see, the first few months inside an IM are really, really difficult. And pardon me for using some, metaphors and all, but once, if it's really hard, that truly brings out your character, right? If it's really tough, you can't survive being fake, or being something that you're not. You have to find that effort within you. You'll have
Mhm.
to dig deep inside you and find that character, that'll help you push through those 3 months. And the relationships that you forge then, or anything that you learn during those stressful times, that is what prepares you for life, or prepares you for, shapes your personality. I think the first 5 or 6 months inside an IM is an environment, is a situation altogether, all aspects of your life.
Mhm.
Some people are staying away from their homes for the first time. There are a new set of people who you have never met before in your life. There is academics, there is the pressure of doing well in academics, then there are the placements, then there is the summer placements. There are so many issues all together thrown in front of you, that it truly is a test of character. There is no other way in which I can put it.
Mhm.
And the relationships that you forge in those times, the people who help you pass through that time, or in general, the environment. So your friends will tell you, your friends will guide you, the professors will guide you, you yourself will sit down, you'll have to introspect, you'll have to learn how to tackle that period, how to evolve out of that period. And that experience, it's just that you have to live it, to feel it and develop out of it. So
Mhm.
those 6-7 months that you spend there, and the relationships that you forge, and the learning that happens, is what prepares your personality. Is, you have no other choice but to dig deep into yourself, reveal your true character to yourself, find yourself and survive that phase, and evolve out of that phase. And the best thing about, and I can say this for surety about IIM Calcutta, we have this phrase where we say, at Joka we leave no one behind.
Okay.
So we pull everyone, each and one of our batchmates up together with us. No one at any point of time feels like I am alone, and maybe I can't do this. There's always help around. You ask other people for help. You have to ask other people for help. The
Can
thing.
you, this is interesting, Vaibhav. Sorry. Can you elaborate a bit further on this, that no one should be left behind? What do you mean by that? So let's say if I'm not doing great academically,
Yeah.
so what do you do collectively as a batch in that case?
As a batch, I think a classic example is, some people are not very, proficient with, let's say, an accountancy subject, a subject like accountancy,
Mhm.
financial accountancy.
Mhm.
So what we do as a batch is, we hold night classes, we hold tuitions specifically for people who are not being able to cope up with accountancy as a subject. And
Mhm.
after campus hours, we hold it in our hostels, we hold it inside classes, where
Okay.
these are towards the evening after dinner. And second year students, or students like, who are chartered accountants inside the batch, all of these guys together design a curriculum to help students come up to date with accountancy. Because as I said, it's a very short time frame in which you have to learn it, right?
Mhm.
Each term is, let's say, 3 months. Within 3 months, for the first time you've read accounts, you've held that book in your hand, to the time that you have to give your final term examinations for accounts.
Volume again,
Yeah,
yeah.
to the time you have to give your final term accounts,
Yeah.
final examination. So it's all
Yeah.
in 3 months.
Okay.
So the chartered accountants in the batch who are very well proficient, very well versed with the subject, or any other students who's very confident on that, or second year students who've done it very well in their first years, they form this, tuition classes. They design a curriculum to help students come up to date. Another thing which is very important is, our placements run for, let's say, 2 days or
Mm-hmm.
3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Even if 90% of the batch gets placed in the first day or the second day, we don't celebrate inside campus. None of us, just out of our own hearts, we never celebrate unless and until everyone is placed.
Mm-hmm.
Unless and until we reach 100% placements inside the batch, none of us even think about celebrating, because we can't leave anyone behind. We'll, once the entire batch is placed, we will have a formal announcement that, okay, now the batch is placed and now we can start our celebrations. So this is just, minor things that is there inside the culture of IIM Calcutta, or I think for most times, which just ensures that, no one is left behind. And that
Okay.
is a very important, aspect that feeds into your character during that phase, that helps you
Okay.
uh,
But
develop.
but this is quite counterintuitive, Vaibhav, because I think I am Calcutta. It would be relative grading.
Yeah, it is relative grading, yes.
It's relative grading. So if someone doesn't do well, it's good for me, right?
uh
So,
yeah, I agree. Before landing up on campus, this is what I thought, that 2 lakh people take the cat, out of which 500 have reached IIM Calcutta. There is so much cutthroat inside 500. I'm sure there will be more cutthroat to reach the uh, top 10 or top 20 or top 30 inside campus.
yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised, and I totally agree with you that that is the expectation with which I had walked in. But I was pleasantly surprised, wherein the culture is not such. Even if, I will not say that there are no exceptions. Of course, there are a couple of people who are not very forthcoming in helping, and
Mm.
a couple of them who generally make an effort to go out of their way. But the majority of the people are such who would want to help others. And I can't pinpoint to one reason why this happens. I guess, I don't know. Once you land up on campus, you see how you are interacting with your seniors, how much the seniors are helping you. And you generally realize that, okay, this is the culture here, and if we don't help each other out, we will not be able to survive. And it's not always about giving. If I am teaching you accountancy, you are going to teach me statistics at some point of time, because if
Mhm.
I am a commerce student, probably statistics or maths is not as strong for me. So the batch as a whole helps each other out and evolves or develops from that situation. So I would say it's the culture. And also, one thing that I noticed is, no matter how competitive we are, once we land up at an IIM, in general, we feel that, okay, we've arrived. Whatever we needed to do in life, we have done to reach an IIM. That is
Mhm.
generally, for most of us, I think we've discussed this before with you, one of our goals in life is to reach an IIM. Once you
Yeah.
reach an IIM, you realize ki theek hai, matlab, it's okay, we are bound to help each other, and that is the culture, and that is how this campus has been for the past 25-30 years. So you just want to, you somehow absorb that culture, and that is the prevalent feeling. And it happens, I saw my senior batch doing it, I saw my batch obviously doing it. And then when I was my second year, the junior batch that came in, we kind of imparted these things about the culture, and even they started doing the same thing. So it has been going on for past 25-30 years. And this is the professors also talk about it, that you guys have to stand by each other, and you guys have to help each other out. That is how this campus functions, and that is how it works. So that is imparted very clearly, and inside each and every one of our personality.
Okay.
I would, sorry to blabber on, but one point about this was, right now, because of the COVID situation, people are not being, so we are not reaching our hostels, right? The hostels are not functioning. But even today on our WhatsApp group, we've been contributing money to help the mess workers. When we say at Joka we leave no one behind, it's not only about the students, it's even
Wow.
about the mess workers. For Kotlarda, for example, we just raised around 3 to 4 lakh rupees for everybody inside the hostel, including Kotlarda. So this feeling of camaraderie, and it was so easy. It was just a WhatsApp message that, hey, these people are facing some trouble financially. I think we should help us out, we should help them out. And everybody readily transferred money, and we reached an amount in within a week or something. We reached 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees. So
Oh,
that
wow.
is one of the very unique things about, at least I felt, about IIM Calcutta. This camaraderie and this bond that you build, this aspect of your personality is developed, and you truly associate yourself with this. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good initiative. That's a good thing, Vaibhav.
Yeah.
Uh, Vaibhav, if you could go back in time and just recall your first week on campus, because as you said that we've arrived, right?
Yeah.
But when we arrive and we arrive at a place like IIMS, at times there's a feeling of self doubt, right?
Yeah.
Because so all of us come from top colleges, right? But then somehow, and we always have that opinion about us that we are maybe God's gift to mankind, right? Then suddenly we see someone who is brighter, smarter, maybe more hardworking than us. So some people find it difficult to adjust or take in that feeling. So how did it happen with you?
It's very interesting. I think I went through the exact same feeling, and I think it was in the second or third day, and I don't remember the exact class I was in. But a
Mhm.
professor used these exact words, that listen, all of you, I would like to mention that none of you are God's gift to mankind.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the exact phrase that he used that because it's very popular. I think it's been since 5-10 years. People walk into an IM and they feel this air around them. But I think that humbling experience is really important.
Mhm.
We were talking about how your personality changes or how the 2 years and an IM change you. I
Mhm.
think it all starts with that humbling experience. No matter how stellar your profile is or how much of an overachiever you think you are, you land inside an IM campus, and the selection process is such that it will make you feel like, listen, I am probably no one in here, right? And to be honest with you, how I overcame that was by realizing within, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, that what I am feeling, everyone around me is feeling. I mean, there is not even a single person who feels that, Naini, I am, in the right place and I am above my entire batch and I can handle this really easily. Because as I said, it's not, if an engineer comes in, he will struggle with accounts. If a chartered accountants come in, he will struggle with statistics. He or she will struggle with a subject like statistics, or there are some more subjects which I am forgetting, which are very maths focused or quant focused or something, which is your weakness. Everybody has one or two weaknesses, plus the
Mhm.
sheer size of it all. There are 450 students. It's a 150-acre campus, as you saw in those images, in the video that I played. It's a huge campus, so many classes, so many activities. The sheer size, magnitude, speed of it all, it's bound to overwhelm you. It's bound to humble you.
Mhm.
And then feeds in that aspect, that you need help. You can't do this alone. And I would recommend this to any student who steps foot inside the campus, that don't be ashamed of asking for help. You ask for help from your batchmates, you ask for help from your seniors, you ask for help from your professors. And this entire experience of talking to people, realizing that you are not the only one who's anxious, you're not the only one who's facing trouble. And realizing this, and then there are institutional requirements that are set in place that will help you move ahead. For example, as I talked about the tutorships or
Mhm.
the late night tuitions that take place, then there are similar sessions that help you make your own CV. There are similar sessions that help you present whatever you've done in your life in a polished way on your CV. Then there are sessions to teach you, polish your interview skills. What sort of questions? There are sessions which help you decide what you want to do in life. You can talk to everyone from different walks of life inside the campus. The second years, some of them have been accepted into a consultancy firm, some of them have been accepted into an investment banking firm, some of them into marketing, some of them into sales. We have all of these guest speaker sessions, and all the professors are from different walks of life. So you go and talk to everyone, you communicate with everyone. That is how you develop within the first 2 weeks. I think one of the points that you mentioned was how it makes you more articulate. I
Mhm.
think it all stems from the fact that you don't have any other choice. If you stay inside your room and you don't speak to people, I mean, at some point of time, you will yourself force yourself. You will realize that, listen, I have to go out and I have to talk to people.
Mhm.
I would not call myself an introvert, but I had a few friends who were, not really the expressive kind or the articulate kind. And I saw that transformation within them, where they realized that, listen, I have to go out and talk to people. There is no other way out of it. I have to make friendships. Otherwise, I will not be able to, make the best out of your experience inside an IM. And that is where the articulate point comes in. You gradually do it, you practice it, and it becomes a part of your life. It becomes a part of your personality.
Mhm. Got it. Got it. You mentioned about the size of the campus. That I think is one of the largest campus, right, across IIMs. Something more about the campus. I believe there are lakes inside the campus.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played that video, right? It was a drone shooting around our campus, and if you've noticed, we have 7 lakes inside the campus. It's one of the most beautiful campuses. We have 7 different lakes inside campus. It's 150 acres. It's also the oldest IIM, so you see a lot of heritage buildings, a lot of trees planted by Mr. Manmohan Singh, planted by famous politicians and famous alumni. You see a tree here and there. It's a very green campus. There are so many trees. We have kayaking. So one of the advantages of having a lake is you wake up at 6. For those students who can wake up at 6, you wake up
Or
at
who
6
do
and
not sleep at all.
or probably those who don't sleep at all, you can go kayaking in one of those lakes.
All right.
You saw there are numerous bridges to cross those lakes. We have pathways. So it's an altogether, I think, for me, joka as an experience. And we call it, that you don't survive joka, you live it. Some IIMs prefer to call themselves that we have survived an IIM, or we have survived first year, we are survivors. But we say that at joka, you don't survive, you live.
Mm.
And one of the inputs to that is this amazing campus. You once you land in, you stay there. Even today I feel like the 2 years that I will never get a chance to stay at that kind of a property and that kind of an environment. No matter how much money I earn, I don't think I'll be able to ever afford that kind of an environment to stay in. Irrespective, and I'm keeping aside the fact that I was staying there with my friends and the college life and everything, but in terms of sheer property, so many lakes around, such greenery, away from the hustle and bustle of the city,
Mhm.
secured inside a campus. It's one of the very important aspects that goes into your development, that goes into the time that you enjoy. I think that campus is really a place to be in. Yeah.
Okay. Vaibhav, let's say every college has some typical thing that you look forward to. So other than the inter-college competition that you mentioned and the placements, because about placements people are aware of. You get a
Yeah.
lot to hear about it or see about it on the primary media, whatever it is. So other than the placements and inter-college competitions, what are the events that students really love on campus? It could be cultural, it could be any other events. What are the other events?
Mm, yeah. So one of the most famous events that we have is our fest called Remini.
Okay.
Remini is basically, the 25th batch reunion. So let's say we are at the year 2025. The batch that passed out in the year 2000, they will all be reunited for an event called Remini.
Mhm.
And it happens around 25th of December. That is the typical week around which it happens. And it's very, the environment is really cold down there in Calcutta. It's a very lake. The campus has all of lakes, so the environment is very cold. It's an open air event. We generally have a band playing, and all the seniors have come in, and the alums, some of them are MDs of banks and VPs and CEOs of huge organizations,
Mhm.
and they come back to campus and they just let their guard down. They party with all the students who are inside campus. So first years, second years, like us, we are having, they have brought in their wives, their children, and they regale us with stories. Okay,
Okay.
I met my wife here. That is where I had my first case, and this is the fun that I had. And just that interaction, you
Mhm.
will never talk to such a senior person like that, except probably during Remini, because
Mhm.
they're just coming in. So that is an event. And Remini as such is very close to every joker's heart, because from, like, it has been only 1 year since I've passed out, but I'm looking forward to Remini. It's just that I really, that's an event where you go back to campus and you engage with a lot of people. It's fun for both sides, the people who are coming back and the people who are inside campus.
Mhm.
So one of the things to look forward to in a calendar year for a person inside IIM Calcutta has to be Remini.
Okay. Okay. All right. Uh, I think we covered lots of areas, Weber, and I think I intentionally want to keep this session small and sweet.
Yeah.
So, some closing sentences that you would like to leave the aspirants with, people who
I think
aspire to be in IIM Calcutta.
Yeah. I think, I've been able to give you a little bit of a flavor about what life at IIM Calcutta is. I think it's much beyond just academics. By the time you reach inside an IIM, you understand that academics you will manage. Academics is very important. You'd already know that, okay, it's going to be academically challenging, but there are so many other aspects to a life at IIM Calcutta, which I've just talked about. It's a lot of fun. It's truly a life-changing experience. And I think, I consider myself really, really lucky that I got this opportunity. If you do get an opportunity, you should consider yourself lucky and try to make the most out of it. Just one thing that I would like to mention is one of the lakes has a jetty. It's sort of a bridge that goes inside the lake, where we've spent countless nights till morning, just sitting and lazing around and enjoying the breeze. You ask any alum of IIM Calcutta, what is the one thing that you miss the most about campus, and it will be that jetty. So I will leave by saying that I really miss that jetty, and that is a feeling. That is a feeling of sitting in that jetty. That should itself propel you to really study hard. I tell my brother, that is what should propel you to study hard, because that feeling of sitting at the jetty at IIM Calcutta is something, it's life changing. That's just how I can put it.
Great, Vaibhav. See, this is why I love engaging with students, and this is why the series, because the passion is quite evident. It's difficult to witness such passion in let's say any other form. So yeah, I'm fortunate enough to relive my memories through you guys, because every year when a student gets into an IIM, I get the feeling as if I am getting into an IIM again. So I love to be in this field where I am currently, and I would. This is my purpose. This is what I do. Thanks, Vaibhav. Thanks for your time. You may leave now, because I have some closing sentences for my audience. I've
Okay.
told about Unacademy. So if you want, you can just leave us. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. So this was Vaibhav with us again. He has been my student, and I always take the liberty of bugging my students, calling them on my show or whatever it is. Whenever, let's say, if my students want some kind of help, I reach out to my students first. So it's a mentor-mentee network that I've been building, and I've been quite lucky that I get responses from my students. So yeah, again, I would like to thank Unacademy to provide me with this opportunity to bring this series, which is talking about IIMs, not just from the academics point of view, guys. It's about the life at IIM, why people change at IIM, how do we bond. You could see the passion on his face. You could see the passion. You can hear the passion in his voice, the nostalgia. Right? I get nostalgic. I get goosebumps whenever I talk to people from IIMs, because it takes me back to my days. So guys, IIMs, yes, your career would be fine, your career would be sorted, but the experience that you'll have at an IIM is completely worth the effort that you put in. So yeah, put in the effort, get into a platform like Unacademy, interact with teachers, good educators, and and smart preparation will get you there. You may subscribe to Unacademy using my code, which is Anand11. And I take classes here. I take classes on YouTube. I take special classes and specific classes designed for you. So see you at the classes. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time.